Hey everybody, Love Dare number 24, Love versus Lust. And Lisa and I talked about this one today, and I thought that I would kind of take this topic just because I think this sort of lust issue tends to be thought of as sort of a guy issue, and it seems to be the guys that always are the ones that are dealing with this. And um, we live in a world where it's everywhere, where stuff is around us all the time, and there's always images that are being thrown in our faces everywhere. You can't pick up a magazine without without images being in front of your face. You can't turn on a television anymore. Even in primetime TV, when you'd think that it's safe, a lot of times the things that are on there in shows that um, that we find acceptable. I hear, as a youth pastor, I hear it a lot of times with some of the youth in my youth ministry, and I've seen it a lot where you'll hear kids will say, it's a really good movie, but there was just one scene in it, but I just sort of fast forwarded it, or it's a really good movie, but there's a little bit of language, and if you just sort of avoid that, and there's some sexual jokes made, but if you just sort of ignore that, the movie's really, or the TV show is really good. And we just reminded again of in Romans chapter 1, it says, and I think this is important, but it says, it's talking about, just the people out there, and Paul's talking about, he says, they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. And I think we see a lot of people doing that. They're exchanging God's truth for a lie. And I know in relationships, God intended for man and woman to be together, and for relationships, marriages to be strong, and to be able to support each other. And I know from dealing with young people that our society has changed and taken what God has intended for good, and our society has exchanged God's truth for a lie. And there's that thought out there that a quick fix will bring happiness. If I can just be fulfilled in a certain way, I'll find happiness. I'll be happy. And there's that instant gratification that that I know a lot of men seek. And as Lisa and I talked about this, again, this is not something that that I am dealing with. I've made sure to really guard my mind. Again, Romans chapter 12 talks about renewing your mind, and so I've made sure that I've tried to keep that stuff. Be accountable in areas when it comes to this kind of stuff. But even as Lisa, like I said, Lisa and I were talking about it. I know it says love versus lust, and lust tends to be sort of a guy's issue, as what everybody sort of says. Oh, it's a guy's thing. But I do think that there is an aspect of it that I think women deal with as well, and I think there's sort of a fantasy aspect to it that women deal with, and they want the sort of the Hollywood romance that's out there, and they want the romance novels are one of the most biggest selling types of written literature out there right now, because I think there's women that have lost the ability to sort of put the focus on their relationship, and so in their own way, I know this talks about love versus lust, but in their own way, they're lusting after a relationship that is fiction. It's fake. It's not real life, and so I think it does go both ways, although we think of it as a guy issue. Um, yeah, so Lisa and I kind of talked about it, and this is something that we are very proactive about making sure that we don't allow it. Things online, TV that we watch. I make sure Lisa knows where I am and what I'm doing. When it comes to this, because I just want the accountability there, and I hope that you're able to do the same thing. So hopefully something helped me or helped you, through this, just sort of things I've learned along the way. So, Love Dare 24. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.